Today is one of my favorites. It brings together so much of what we're doing. With Lander, the microbiome and his blood sugar. Insulin levels are really important. So we've got local farmers, our good friends from my hometown, Atkins, Meg, a dietitian, making some amazing food. Can't wait to see what she's going to bring together.
Hey everyone, today we're going to make a baked sweet potato, black bean, and then Ralston rice cold salad. Why cold salad? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But first, what I have in this bowl is I cooked a couple of days ago some of our Ralston jasmine rice, and then also some of the Ralston purple rice, which is one of my favorites because of the rich color, which means it's rich in this antioxidant, which helps, your body fight off any stress and toxins. Plus, it has a higher amount of protein in there. And I did the same, once I cooked those, I let it cool and I put it in the fridge for a couple of days. I did the same with sweet potato. So I just peeled, chopped a sweet potato, put it in the oven at 425 for about 15 minutes. And then once it was cooled, I popped those in the fridge. And the reason why I popped it in the fridge and let these kind of cool for a couple of days is because I wanted to build up resistant starch. So what is resistant starch? Resistant starch, what it does is it has the best of both soluble and insoluble fiber because it resists being broken down in the small intestine, but once it gets into the large intestine, it starts to feed all of those good bacteria that we have in our large intestine. We have over 100 trillion bacteria in our gut flora, and it's really, really important to have a strong gut health. That's because when everything that we eat goes through our gut, if we don't have a really strong gut, the lining of it, things will pass through and we might get absorbed. Things won't get absorbed the way that it's supposed to. And so when we have things that go into the large intestine and feed that good bacteria, that's what we call it, acts like a prebiotic, and it breaks down there and it starts this fermentation process, which then releases short chain fatty acid. And there's one in particular that really strengthens that gut lining so you don't have any cracks in there, which is really what we like to see. And so whenever we have a strong gut lining, I know we've talked about this before, things don't go through the cracks or fall through. The other benefit of the resistant starch this way is that it's not absorbed or breaks down in the small intestine, so it doesn't impact glucose. So there's not going to be a need for insulin, and it's not going to affect that blood sugar or, have to use your insulin processes, pancreas, or anything like that, which is really, really beneficial. And now studies are showing that this resistant starch helps with satiety. So when you eat it, you feel full faster and might not eat as much. And it's showing that it helps actually break down fat cells, especially around the abdomen. So if you feel like you carry a lot of weight here, this is something you really want to look into. Now there's 5 different types of resistant starch, and the one we're highlighting today is type 3. And that's when you take something that's really starchy and cook it, and then let it cool in the refrigerator. And while it's cooling process, that's going to help build up that resistant starch. And you definitely don't want to boil all of those types of things. Just the boiling process kind of leaches a little bit of that starchiness out. So if you just bake it or steam things like that, it helps really boost that carbohydrate starch. Then when it cools, it really, really makes that strong resistant starch. So what we're going to do today, we have our good resistant starch. I have already opened up a PBA-free can of organic black beans. We're going to add those to it. Next, we're going to toss in a little bit of purple onion. And so we'll get that going. Also, we're going to add in a little bit of avocado, and that's going to be our good, healthy fat. And I have a little helper today, my favorite helper. So we're going to add in this red onion. So we're going to get a lot of crunch too from the red bell pepper. Now red bell pepper, most people don't think about bell pepper as being really high in vitamin C, but it's super high in vitamin C. In fact, it's higher than a green bell pepper or yellow bell pepper. And so we'll add this red bell pepper in there to boost up that vitamin C. We'll toss in a little bit of cilantro. All right, I'm going to grab a little bit more cilantro and kind of get this out of the way. So we'll chop up that cilantro. And what's cool about cilantro is it adds this really fresh, crisp bite. But there's certain antioxidants and different benefits in cilantro that you can't get from any other plant. And so it's really good to incorporate different fresh herbs to get all of those good benefits. So we're going to toss that in there. And then to dress this salad, we're going to do a little bit of lime juice, which I already have in our glass bowl. We can add a little bit of this yacon syrup, which, you know, is very low on glycemic index, but gives a little bit of a sweet taste. My all-time favorite product now, I mean, I use it almost daily, is this fermented plum vinegar. So we'll add a little bit of that. Look at that beautiful color. It goes really, really, really pretty with that purple rice and the black beans. And then of course we're going to do olive oil. And luckily I have a really good dressing shaker right here beside me. So I'll let McCoy shake this up for a little bit. Just kind of lightly shake it. So we'll take this dressing and just kind of pour this on top. And then we'll stir it together, and you'll see this rice, the white rice, adds a pretty contrast to the dark of the purple rice, the black beans. We have those bright colors from the avocado, cilantro, red bell pepper, and of course the crunch and the prettiness from the red onion as well. And this makes for a super yummy salad. Now for those that don't eat meat, you get a protein benefit from the purple rice and also the black beans. But if you wanted to take it to the next step and throw in some chicken or some beef, anything like that, that would be also yummy too. So I hope you take this, try out that third fiber, that resistant starch, and your gut will thank you for sure. Hope you guys enjoy.
Yet again, we owe so much to Meg to come and teach us about why we're doing a lot of these things. This recipe seems super easy. I'm gonna try it. Cannot wait for the kids to eat it. It smells good. So much going on right here. Thank y'all for watching. We're gonna keep trucking along. Oh my God.